And welcome back, everybody, to another Tuesday night chit chat. So sorry about last week. I've got kind of a funny story to tell you while we're waiting for people to come in. So I have I'm trying to start a new channel about trail cameras and, catching hogs and all kinds of wildlife, deer, mountain lions, whatever. Well, I've got an unused 80 acres that has not been used in over 100 years, so the wildlife are just ridiculous up there, but you can't get to it. So my son and I were supposed to go down a week ago Friday and see what it was about, see if we could find access to it, all yada yada. And he forgot. So we ended up going down okay. We ended up going down on Okay, so we didn't go down on that Friday. Well, in the meantime, my daughter was hosting a blood drive and for her company and asked me to participate, and I said, "Of course, I'd love to." And I've given blood before, never been a problem. Well, as it turned out in the great universe of things, the 2 days coincided. Okay? If I had given blood and come home and just kind of hung around the house and snacked when I wanted to, and I would have been fine. But I didn't. I got in the car and I rode for 2.5 hours. Then I got out and I walked in the hot sun. And so, anyway, needless to say, it took me 4 days to recover. So I am so sorry about missing last week. But tonight we are going to talk about flashlights. And Amazon just had their big spring sale. I think today was the last day of it. But so, I had to get a new flashlight. Like, I need one like another hole in the head. But you know how I go. So this is my newest acquisition. It is the Olight O-Clip. Okay. The Olight O-Clip Ultra has a UV light. Now, it has a flood and a spot, and it's bright. It's, like every other flashlight out there. Doop. That's the flood. And then it's got the spot, and you just change it with your thumb, really easy. And then you've got, which it won't show it kind of shows up. Then you've got like an ultraviolet light, and that thing, I have had more fun with the ultraviolet light, just going around the house and going, ooh, ooh. So really I've had a lot of fun with this thing. The main thing is you can clip it to your shirt. Now, I usually have a sling bag or a backpack or whatever, but I tend to get caught walking outside a lot, and so I always have a flashlight with me. Have only had this today. It's brand new, brand new. I like it because it kind of has the American flag on it, which is kind of cool. Um, and it was on sale, and I love sales, so there's that. But so I'm gonna kind of share this with you guys if I can figure out how to do this. There we go. Maybe it's not sharing. Why is it not sharing? There it is. Okay. So as you can see, it's on sale through tonight for $40. It's normally, I think it runs normally about 55. So, but so far I'm liking this thing a lot. Uh, I've just played with it today. I kind of went through the house finding dark places and playing with the old UV light and stuff, and it has been cool. Okay, so I want to show you some of my other favorites, and if I plan this out right, I should. Let's see. Voila! These are not all of my flashlights, but these are some of my favorite flashlights. Um, So this one right here is my most used. and I have it in every color you can think of. It is the Olight iMini, and it's on sale too for $13.28. This is probably my most used flashlight. I have these in every color they make. I don't think I have any black ones, but I have blue, green, orange, and red. And these just hook onto your bag or wherever. And to activate it, there's no button or anything on here. You just pull it. It's magnetized, and you just pull it off. And I've shown these to you before, but this is absolutely 100% my most used flashlight. I use it every time I come home after dark to get the key in the doorknob. But I've also used it in the kitchen, any place where you just need a little bit more light to see. This is the one I grab, because you just pull it off. The flashlight itself is this big. There you go. Back. Okay. Uh, so and for $13.28, it's on sale. It's normally, I think, $19-20. This is kind of cool. So to recharge it, you take this little rubber piece off, and it's a USB-A. It fits into any USB-A. So like your charging brick for your phone, you just plug this directly into it and it charges. I have a USB-A in my truck that I can, if I do happen to run the battery down for whatever reason, I can just plug it into my truck and it'll charge as I'm driving. So love, 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 love this thing. All-time favorite right here. And it's the cheapest of the bunch. Now, it would not be a good flashlight to go out in the woods. It's just going to light up your surrounding area. It doesn't have any throw to it to speak of. It's just pretty much going to light up where you're at. But because it is magnetic, you can put it like on the car hood, and it's going to throw enough light in there for you to see if you need to add oil or something like that. So, number one favorite. Then we have these two, which these are not rechargeable. These are the only non-rechargeable ones up here. They run off a AAA battery, and they're pretty bright for what they are, and the AAA battery lasts quite a while. And I've got multiples of these as well. This is a through night, and this is an Olight, and these are as close to identical as you can get. Just kind of a handy. I used to carry this one at work all the time, which is why it looks so beat up. But I carry these in my little pouches as a backup in case this one's dead. I have a backup. So, because you can, you can always find a AAA battery at any convenience store and you're up and running again. The next two are both by Through Night, and this is the Archer Pro S and the Saber. And these are good utility, just around the house type flashlights. They're bright, but they're just a good everyday flashlight, both of them. This one's a little bit dimmer, that one's a little bit brighter. Nothing to really write home about. It's good enough to see to take the garbage out type thing. But I love Through Night, don't get me wrong, but I think you could probably do better. So, just saying. And my favorite one of those, which I ordered quite a while ago, I've never even opened it, and I had to rebuy it because I lost the other one. It's the Archer Pro version 2, and I like it better than either of these. It's still real rechargeable and all this, but it's a little bit brighter, and I lost my other one. So I reordered one and I just have never gotten around to opening it. And then we come to the Woobin. There's a whole lot of these Chinese branded flashlights that are not expensive, but are really pretty good flashlights. And the Woobin makes a decent one. I like this one because it's got a clip on here. And so you can put the clip on your shirt. Here you can put the clip to your shirt, sort of. You get the drill. Like a backpack strap, a sling strap, whatever. You can also put it on your ball cap, and the head rotates. So let's say you're working on the car or working on something and you got your cap on, you can put this on there and have the light shine down, or aim it forward and have the light shine forward. So it's not that strong of a flashlight. I mean, it's fairly bright. Let me turn on. Oh, it's locked. It does have a lock. So it is fairly bright. I have no problems with the lumens. It is fairly bright. But its claim to fame is the tiltable head. And Through Night has since come out with almost an identical one that I've got on order. It won't be here till Friday, so I'll show you that next week. But it's a decent flashlight. And all of the internet, everyone and their dog has done a review of this flashlight, which is why I bought it. It's just, it doesn't feel as premium as some of these other ones. So this feels a little like the head on it feels like, be gentle with it. Okay. It doesn't feel that substantial. So not a bad flashlight, but I'm just saying, sometimes I can be kind of rough with stuff. And so you kind of have to be a little gentle with that one. So I've had some people sneak in here on me. Randy came in. Hi, Sly. Hi, Randy. How you doing? I got a new flashlight, so I thought, well, we'll have another flashlight night. I've done these before, but I ordered a couple of new ones. The other two won't be here until Friday, so I want to get them and test them out and see if I like them. But I have a plethora, so there's that. And Sammy made it in. Hey, everyone. Hey, Sammy. So glad you're here. I saw a link to a trailer of something you did with Bill Murray, but when I clicked it, it didn't work. So you might want to, I don't know if it just didn't work on me or if there was something inherently in the link. I don't know. Facebook really kind of doesn't like me sometimes. I don't know why. But anyway, but I would love to see your new movie and the movie you worked on. So I don't know how to make that. I don't know how you can send that to me. You might try sending it through the email, slyreader@mail.com, not Gmail, just mail. You might try that and see, because I would love to see it, Sammy. So the next one is another. Did I show that one? Another if I did or not. Okay. Yeah, this one is on sale, and it goes on sale all the time, $19.99, for the black or the green. I have the green, but it goes on sale all the time, so that is not. I'm not going to say it's not going to end tonight, but they will have that again before Amazon has their fall sale. So there's kind of no rush on that. The next one is another Woobin, because this is the one. These are kind of the ones like this that I started with. I just got the Olight in, and I just thought it looked really cool. So yeah, so it's basically the same as the Woobin. This does not have UV light, and I have had more fun with that. But this is the one I carried on, like when I went to Branson and on a lot of my trips, and I just put it on the strap on the backpack, either the chest strap if the straps don't have a horizontal thing, I just hook it right there. I did get the extension tube, and so I could put the bigger battery in here, which it has. I mean, I haven't had to charge this thing since I charged it the first time with the bigger battery, and it's still going strong. And I don't use it every day, but I have used it quite a bit. And we went to Branson and we got a hotel that was kind of a long corridor, outside. The doors were outside. And at the end, it turned and made an L and there was a door right here. Well, our porch light was out. And so that whole corner was just pitch black. And I saved the day because I had a flashlight and it was already out and I just had to reach up and turn it on. And now this thing is a lot brighter than anything else I've shown you so far, but it's still not anything I would take into the woods. So these are all kind of what I call urban flashlights, not something you want to go on a walkabout with. Okay. Now did I get that one up there? No, I didn't. Okay. So that one will run you it's on sale right now for $24 without the extra tube. I think the tube is on sale as well for $8. So $32, you've got the whole big, but then you have to buy a bigger battery. So, so you're looking at around $40 again. Okay. So the next one I have had for several years, we're getting almost to the end of this. This is a Through Night TT20, and I absolutely love this flashlight. This was one of the first modern day flashlights. I had a bunch of old battery operated ones. I think this was my first rechargeable, and it's stupid bright. It's stupid easy to use. You just hold the thing down if you want to go. Let's see if I can make it go bright or dim. There it goes dim. Then it flashes to let you know that you're as low as it'll go. And then you just hold it down and it goes back up. So this is still probably one of my favorites. And I have a couple of these. I have a blue and a brown one. They don't offer the colors anymore. Now the only way you can get this thing is in the black or the brown, which you guys can't see that. There you go. The black or the brown, and the brown is a custom, and so it's like $10 more than the black. But these things were like $70 when I got them. So, like I said, this thing is probably 4 or 5 years old. I think I actually gave Peter one for his birthday and now he had issues with his. I have 2 of these. I've never had an issue. So there's that. But I think he carried it in his pocket a lot. I carry one in my truck a lot, and I've never had an issue with it. But now, if I'm going out in the woods, because here again, this does throw farther than any of the rest of these, but when I go out in the woods at night, I want to see everything around me, right? I don't want any surprises. I don't want any critters, you know, coming up on me and scaring me and what have you. So this is my walking through the woods flashlight. It's not that big. It's the Through Night Catapult V6, which now they have a V7. Run you about $60. And again, they say it's, $70, but it goes on sale all the time. So now it only comes in black. When I got it, it came in the gray color, but this thing has got some throw on it. It's bright, and it throws way out there. So it has like a spotlight within a floodlight. And so the floodlight kind of floods the area, and then the spotlight really reaches out there. And so no critters will be sneaking up on me. But this is the one I carry when I go off in the woods. And I love to walk in the woods at night. But I just don't want anything kind of sneaking up on me, so to speak. So that's that's not all of my flashlights, but that's kind of my favorites. I have some that like that didn't even make the desk. Okay, that's what we'll call it. Didn't even make the desk. So what was this one? Okay. Oh, that's what that was. Okay, so if anybody wants to join me, let me turn this on if I can find it. Where are you? There you are. Okay, I'll turn that on. So if anybody wants to join me, they can just hop on, and somewhere I've got some earbuds so I can hear you. But so what is your guys' favorite flashlight? I know Olight. The reason I didn't start with Olight was at the time, and this has been 4 or 5 years ago, so they have changed some. At the time, they had that proprietary charging system. And one of the flashlights, it's funny because I was really, really against that because I lose things a lot. And that proprietary charging cable, it was a magnet and it had a little disc on the end of it. And you had to have that to charge their flashlights, which when they came up with that, they were probably thinking, okay, this is a good thing. You have to have our charger to charge our flashlights, and that's probably a good thing. But in hindsight, people lose things, and I lose cables all the time. And thankfully, I have a myriad of cables. But I just know myself, and I would lose that cable. So the flashlight I have coming is a Baton 4, and it comes in a really cute little charging case that looks kind of like a lighter, that you can charge the case with USB-C. Okay. Everything I have now, I want to be able to charge with USB-C. Don't give me any of that micro, mini, any of that. I want to be able to charge everything with USB-C. The battery on my phone is getting very, very weak. So I'm looking to upgrade, and I hate, with a passion, I hate upgrading my phone. I get it set up the way I want it, and I expect it to last the rest of my life. But now that the iPhones have gone to USB-C, I do kind of see a need to upgrade. My issue is I like a very small phone, and the newer ones, you can't get this small of a phone anymore. So I'm really kind of at a quandary with that. But I know time moves forward, and it's kind of interesting that I decided on the Baton 4 because you charge it in the case. Now the case you charge with the USB-C, but you kind of have to put it in the case. So, which is it's fine. It's going to be like, one of these more urban style flashlights. It's not going to be for out walking in the woods and stuff. And that's fine. I'm about ready to get like a 6-volt lantern that like just lights up the night sky. Uh, Randy says it was not a video from Sammy. It was supposed to be a link for his new app for LUTs. Okay. Well, I think the picture showed Bill Murray. But Randy, I 100% trust you because my memory is not that great. I thought it was for a new trailer for his movie. But yeah, it could be out there. Randy says to Sammy, Sly is correct that the link is not working. So yeah, Sammy, I don't know why. I don't know if it's something that Facebook has blocked. I don't know, but because I'm not real good with Facebook, so I don't know. But I am very interested. So I would like to see that. If you can figure out a way to get that to us, or send it to Randy, and then Randy can send it out, because Randy is really good at that stuff. So, yeah, some of us are technologically handicapped. Technologically handicapped. There you go. So, but other than that, that has been kind of how my week has gone. Once I got my blood replenished. I started feeling pretty good about Thursday, and had the rest of the weekend was great. So, and I feel fine now, but if you're going to give blood, don't go on a hike afterwards in the hot sun. Had I stayed home, like, they fed us after, they had like Indian tacos or whatever, which I like, but it wasn't, it would have been better for me to come home and just like snacked like all day and drank orange juice or whatever. And I didn't. So I did drink some water with electrolyte powder in it, but it was, not enough. So, and Randy says, yes, please give a like and subscribe. Um, Randy says, I got the app, but have not used it yet. Been busy. I don't, well, yes, I can. I think I can. Can I put LUTs on my Action 5? So, since Amazon was having their sale, they have the Action 5 Pro for less than $300, which is a really good price for the Action 5. So I did a little test, and I did not set it up to share with you tonight, but I did a little test, and I don't know if I could find that like really quickly, because it kind of amazed me. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. With this one? Yes. Okay. So, whoops. What happened there? Okay. So, I don't know if I can bring that in as a new scene. I can try. Maybe not. So you're supposed to be able to just drag and drop, but it doesn't always work that way for me. Oh, maybe I can do it. Okay, maybe that's not such a good idea. Okay. I wonder if I could put that. I don't know that you'd have any sound. Let me see if I can put that over here. Okay, let me see if y'all can see this. I'm just going to run a little bit of it, and please forgive me. It's very windy outside. I've got my glasses on. I don't look good. But what I want you to look at is not me so much. I want you to look at the sky and the trees, the clouds, the color of all three cameras, and tell me which one you guys like the best. And I will try to share this. Let me see if this works. Okay. So there's all three cameras. I'm just going to run this for a little bit. Oh, it won't run it. Okay. So it won't run it. It'll just show you what's on the other screen. Okay. So this, which you can't see my pointer. Okay, so the one in the middle is the 4. The one on my left, which very possibly could be your right, is the original, and the one on the other end is the 5 Pro. Okay? But look at, well, you can't really see the tree in that one. Let me see if I can scoot this along a little bit and get where the tree's in there a little bit better. Oh, there's some clouds. Okay. So let's go back to here, go back to here. Okay. So here's some clouds, and it does cut everything off a little bit. Obviously I should have set this up where I brought it into Ecamm, but I didn't think about that. So as you can see, well, I don't think my pointer works on to you guys. It works on my end, but I don't think it works on your end. So you can see it where it says original and 4, and then the other one would be 5. But look at the clouds in the background and the colors. It's just, to me, I realized I'm a little bit darker, but the original Osmo Action still looks pretty dadgum good. And it's tiny in comparison, because I've been hauling around the 4 and 5s for a couple of years, I think. They're basically the same size. Okay. I don't have the original up here anymore, but they're basically the same size. So I thought about, well, whichever one of these look better, I'll get another one since they're so cheap right now. And so I put them on the thing, and in the originals, I have 2 of those, and they were just sitting up there, and I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and throw one of those on there. And it really amazed me that it looks as good as it does. I mean, that is not a bad picture. If you didn't have anything to compare it to, it's not a bad picture. Now, I think the 4 probably, I don't know. Which sky do you guys like better? Because I'm thinking the sky looked the closest in the original. I think it's a little bit dark in the 4, and it's a little bit light. And these, I set all of the cameras, I made a point of setting all of the cameras exactly the same. So the settings on all of them are exactly, I mean, even Steven. I white balanced them with the same white, so they're as close as you could possibly get. And I think the 5 is a little bit blown out. So the advantage of the 5 is you can hook up 2 microphones. So if I'm out with my son or whatever, I can mic him up and mic me up. And so that's kind of the advantage. I think it handles the shadows better, but I think the 4, honestly, is a little bit better picture. But again, unless you're comparing them side by side, I don't think the viewer is even going to notice. So Randy says sometimes when the face is closer, the blue sky will become blown out. That's true. And they're all set at just the standard field of view. So like none of them are zoomed in or anything like that. I think the 4, you do get a little bit wider angle, maybe. Sammy says, yes, I'm making an app for color grading. Cool. So, so I know the 5 you can shoot in D-Log. I'm not sure if you can on the 4 or not. Because the colors in the 4 really have never bothered me. They've kind of always bothered me on the 5. So there's that. Randy says closer to the camera. It also depends on the lens magnification. So with the new 6, I think you can change maybe the aperture. The 4 and the 5, you can magnify up to 2 times, which is nothing, unless you're filming yourself, and then it's stupid close. But if you're out in the woods and stuff, it's 2 times is not enough to zoom in and see anything, But the clouds, to me, the clouds in the 4 and in the original look better than in the 5. I don't know. Sammy says, I haven't published the app yet. I'm still working on it. That's cool. I wouldn't even begin to know where to start, Sammy. So my hat is off to you. I think that's just an awesome, awesome thing to undertake. How do I get out of this one? There we go. Okay. So I do these little tests in my backyard, and I don't like get dressed up or anything. I just go out and put the cameras on tripod and just, I'll do microphone tests, and I'm really kind of interested in the small rig S70 mic, and I have no idea why. Just because I like microphones as much as I like flashlights. Um, and it was on sale. It's not on sale anymore, but so I kind of missed that. But they had a version with a lightning adapter, and I never have been able to find that. If you go on Small Rig's website, you can purchase it separately, but I kind of wanted the kit that had the lightning adapter. But if I upgrade my phone, don't really need it. So there's that. Everybody moves on except me. And I'm back in the, I don't know when the 13 mini came out, but it's been a fat minute. So yeah. Let's see. Sammy says, Bill Murray. Yes, that was footage I shot of him for a project. So I saw that picture, and I thought it said it was to a new trailer. But like I said, I could be dreaming. And Scott made it in, just tuned in. Hey, well, you're going to have to go back and watch yeah, it's been done. So I did get a new flashlight, Scott. So that's kind of my thing. And I just got it today. So I ordered it a couple days ago, and it just came in today. I've got 2 more that I ordered at the same time. They won't be here till Friday. So apparently Amazon gets really backed up during their sales. Sammy says 13 mini was 2022. So it's 4 years old. Yeah. And honestly, I don't think I got it. I didn't get this 4 years ago. I'm going to say I've had this maybe 2, maybe 3, if I were guessing. And the reason I jumped off and got this was because it was the last mini that Apple was going to make. And I like small phones. So every one of my friends has got like a tablet size phone. And I just like small phones. So that is why I jumped off and got the 13 mini. But they're all big now. Even what they call it, the Neo or something, the Air. I don't know. They've got one that doesn't have all the bells and whistles, and it's supposed to be cheaper. But I don't really use my phone as a camera, so I'm not really concerned about the camera. But it's still a bigger phone than what this is. So Apple, start making little phones again, because there's a market. Sammy says, it says coming soon, a project that I've been working on called Lumilut. Okay. Well, usually when I get on Facebook, it's like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and I don't really retain very much of what I see at that time. So I do apologize. But Lumilut. So let us know when you have it out. and I don't know how I would use it unless I shoot in D-Log with the 5, and then I think I can put LUTs on the 5. I think. Not 100% sure about that. Randy might have to walk me through that one, because I don't know. I have never really worried about color grading too much, because usually I just go out and it's a run and gun. I did take some video of when we went out to look at the land. So they took this town, and it was kind of almost like a ghost town. There hardly anybody lived there. But it had been there forever. It was a very old town, and they flooded it to provide water for some of the bigger towns around it. But you can't flood a cemetery, because the bodies will all float up. So they made this road out to the cemetery, and it's quite a long road, and maybe a quarter of a mile or so. And then it opens into this huge uh, piece of land that has a church and all this headstones. And so we drove out there and got out, and we had to walk around and look at the headstones, and some of them were from like late 1800s, early 1900s. There was 2 from 2026, but there was also a lot of old ones. And what really kind of pulled at my heartstrings, there was a lot of babies. I don't know what happened back in the day, but there was a lot of babies. And that kind of made me sad. But we got out and we walked, and I took some video just for my, I'm not gonna put it on, publish it or anything like that. But so that was kind of our excursion, and we got home at like 7:45. I was out like a light bulb by 8:15. I mean, I could not hold my head up. I was just out, and I think I slept all night that night, which is another thing old people don't do. We don't sleep all night. So, you'll sleep 2 or 3 hours, and then you're up for 2 or 3 hours, and then you go back to sleep. And yeah, it's just, yeah. Sammy says you can use LUTs with already colored footage. Okay. Well, I know there has been a huge complaint about the 5 being oversaturated. And so everybody recommended shooting in D-Log. I think it's called D-Log. And then color grading after the fact. So that does make sense. Yeah. Um, you're going to school for all this, so maybe you could teach me, because it's way beyond my area of expertise. My Canons, I like the colors of my Canons, but they're just too big and heavy to be taking everywhere with me. Plus, I'm afraid I would break one. With the action cameras, number one, I have dropped them numerous times. They just keep ticking. And so I don't have to worry about it. If I drop it in water, they're waterproof. I've got a small rig cage on them, so they're somewhat protected from drops on hard surfaces, more or less. And so they just fit my lifestyle. The M6s, I used to take it before I really kind of got to where I was action camera only. And it was stupid stuff. Like with the M system, you have to remember to turn the lens on. I've never had to do that. And so I took a picture of my grandson standing in front of these dinosaur eggs, right? They're these huge, huge rocks. And I had forgotten to turn the lens on and didn't realize it at the time. So those pictures are unusable, right? And totally operator error. With the action camera, you turn it on and it's radio. If you want to, I have it set to video, but you can take photos. and it takes pretty good photos. So I just don't think about really color grading that much, but I know it would probably make the color a lot better on the 5 Pro. Sammy says, I made it simple with sliders so anyone can color the footage. Yeah, see, that's, I used to have a boss that believed in the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid, right? And he would always, he'd just look at me and go, kiss it, keep it simple, stupid. So yeah, the simpler it is, the easier it is to use, the more people will use it. That's kind of what I have found. Why are you over there? You need to come over here so I can see you. Yeah. So I kind of have rearranged things so I can see the comments easier. And I still, it's been 3 or 4 weeks and I'm still not really used to the setup, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. It'll come. They give you too many options to move boxes here and there, and oh, that's why, because I had to move you. Okay. So move you back, and now I got plenty of room for you. There we go. Now I can see everything in front of me. I have been kind of looking at getting a dual monitor setup for my laptop. So our trip to Colorado got canceled, which is kind of a bummer because I was really wanting to do that. But and so now I'm looking at taking another trip to parts unknown so far. I may just get my truck and start driving. And Jeff made it in. How you doing, Jeff? Good day. How are things going? Well, they're going very well this week. By the way, for all you U.S. citizens, you have 15 days left to do your taxes. I just did mine last night. I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off because I knew this year would be very complicated, and it was. So I drank an energy drink and I just sat down and got after it. It took me a lot longer than it ever has in the past. When I was working, it was very simple, cut and dry, W-2 and off you go, and just standard deduction and I was good. Well, now that I'm not working, it's a whole lot more complicated. So, but you got the taxes done, they're put to bed, they've been accepted, life is good. So that's it. It just seems to me if you're retired, you shouldn't have to file taxes. But they gotta collect money from everybody. So I don't mind paying my fair share, but I wish they would make it very simpler. Randy says, I have an extra monitor for my laptop. It makes things so simple. Paid my taxes already, also car insurance, now paying the monthly bills. Yes, tomorrow starts a new month, April Fools, everybody. And so, yeah, I'll start all that over again, all that monthly stuff. It's amazing how much it costs just to not do anything, just to exist. You got car insurance and a phone bill and electric bill and gas bill and all this stuff just to exist. It's well over $1,000 a month, and that's not doing anything. So, yeah, it's crazy, but such is life. That's part of being a what do they call it, a grown up. So I don't know. I don't think Australians have an April 15th deadline. I think that's just strictly US, possibly. But I started to feel better last Thursday, and I thought, ooh, well, I can go live on Thursday. But eh, um, it didn't work out. And then Friday Peter was live, and Saturday I have a commitment Saturday night, so I can't do anything Saturday night. And then I thought, well, Sunday, because I've missed you guys, I could go live Sunday night, but then I'm going to go live Tuesday night. So yeah, I just waited. Rainey says, how much is gas in your area? So, I did see something, I think it was like a short on YouTube, where somebody paid over $5 a gallon. I don't know if that was on one of the coast. He didn't really say where he was, but here it's still $2 and something. I mean, it hasn't like gotten ridiculous yet. I think it's closer to 3, so like 280 maybe. I went to, where did I go? I went to Arkansas, and on my way there, I saw gas was like 2.15, and it's been a couple weeks ago. Uh, and so on the way back, I had enough gas to get home, but on the way back, I went ahead and filled that tank up because 2.15 is cheap. So I think I'm down because we took another trip Monday, a week ago Monday, and so I think I'm down to a quarter of a tank, and I usually don't let it get below half. So I'm just one of these people that when it gets to half, I just fill it back up because I never know if I'm gonna have to run over to the city or, I just always want to be able to get in my truck and go and not having to worry about stop at a gas station and fill up. And so I hardly ever let it get down to a half, and I think it's on a quarter now, so I will be filling up. Randy says 386 yesterday. Wow. Well, you know what, Randy? I'm going to look because, um, and just see. I actually have an app for it, but I'm going to just pull up the one closest to me, um, and just see what it is. Uh, well, it's not going to tell me. Okay, well, normally it does tell me on my app. So let me see if I can find it real quick. Because now you've got me really curious. Um, but you know what? It may not. Okay, let's see. Okay, gas. Well, they've changed it. Wow. Yeah. It used to, when you pull up on the app, it would, huh, it would tell you what the gas price was, and it's not doing it now. So maybe it has gone up to the point where they don't want to advertise it. Oh, here we go. 319. So, I mean, that's not horrible. Let's see. Um, you were 386, 319. So, Randy says averaging approximately 334 to 377 a gallon. Just Google your city gas prices. So, yeah, we have a convenience store that I don't know if you have them in Texas or not. It's Quick Trip. Um, they're like all over the place, but they have like a guarantee thing to where if you have any engine trouble and you can prove that you got your gas from them, they'll pay to have your engine fixed. So I always get my gas from them. My son's best friend works for him, and so I'm kind of feel like I'm supporting him in a way. But yeah, 319, and I probably need more. Usually I only get 7 or 8 gallons because I fill up before it gets down very far. But with it being at a quarter of a tank, it's probably going to take a little bit more. Uh, People love to text me when I'm live. That's okay. So I have heard it is going up. Um, I mean, it is what it is. I don't drive that much anymore. I am getting ready to take a road trip. it won't be to Colorado, it'll be somewhere else. But so I probably should pay a little bit more attention to that. But if you buy, my tank holds, I think it's 18 gallons. So even if it goes up $1, that's only $18. It's not like it's gonna. I tend to not complain about gas prices too much, because in the grand scheme of things, it's not like it's $100 more to fill my truck up. It's, if it goes up $1, it's $18 more, So like, I'm not one of those people who will drive an extra 2 miles to save a nickel on gas. Does that make sense? I always fill up at the same place, and if I'm at home, Now, if I'm on the road, you just get what I always fill up when I need it. So, but if I'm at home, I always use the same gas station, and uh, I don't really pay that much attention to it. But I don't drive as much as I used to before I retired. And when I first quit work, I did not think I was retired. Now I do. So, yeah. So I have heard that it's going up. But Rainey says, we have Quick Trip, but we have more of a population here in San Antonio. Yes, you do. San Antonio is a lot bigger than where I live. So, and I love San Antonio. I've been there twice, and went on the Riverwalk and that downtown by the Alamo area, and it's one of my favorite places to vacation. But haven't been there since the kids were little. Jess says, we pay around 60% more than you guys in the U.S. At the moment, we are paying $2.56 a liter. Okay. So a liter, because I'm thinking, I'm trying in my head to think of a liter and how, yeah, I think there's like 2 point something liters in a gallon. So that would be quite a bit more. Scott says, same 18-gallon tank, same outlook. A full dollar would be $18 a tank. Not really noticeable in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, see, it's kind of what I think. Now, if I was driving like I used to, where I was having to fill up 2 or 3 times a week, it might start to add up. But here in Oklahoma, they're going to get you with tolls. So the price of gas is the least of your worries, because they're going to hit you with, it's $9 now to drive to Oklahoma City. So $18 to drive there and back. So they're going to hit you with way other things besides, and Oklahoma is one of the highest states to insure a car in. So they're going to get you with insurance and tolls. You don't have to worry about the gas. Jeff says, sorry, $2.56 a liter. Okay, so how many liters are in a gallon? Let me just scoot all this over, get this out here, because I can't reach over there and type. How many liters are in a gallon? Boop. Oh, holy cow. 1 gallon is 3.78 liters. That's almost 4 liters. So $2.56 a liter. Yeah, you all are crazy high. I don't know if there's oil in Australia, but y'all need to find it. That's crazy high. So one of your liters is 256. So times that by 378. I don't know how much that is, but that's a lot to put it in perspective. That's ridiculously a lot. So 378 times 256, $9.67 a gallon. Holy cow. That I would complain about. Okay, I'm not going to complain about, the difference between $2, $3, $4. That's fine. But $9 a gallon, that I would complain about. That's crazy. Yeah, 1 gallon is 3.78. So you take his 256 a liter times 3.78, $9 and something. That's crazy. 9.67. Wow. Jeff, I feel sorry for you, man. So is your insurance and do you have tolls or anything? Can you write any of that off your taxes? Jeff says, not only are we paying more in petrol, we will be paying more in freight due to the high cost. Yes. Yes. So that was one thing that, and I don't remember if it was pre or post 19, but the diesel went up. Now, diesel is the cheapest fuel you can possibly make. It's all oily and it's just basically junk fuel, right? Always has been. Now they put all these additives and everything in it, but historically, diesel has always been the cheapest fuel to make, and they're charging more for diesel than they are for gas. And guess what? Everything we get delivered comes by truck. So it made all the prices of groceries and anything that is sold in a brick and mortar store, it made it more expensive because it costs more to run those trucks now. So yeah, it's just gotten kind of on the ridiculous side. But I mean, if you think about it, they're paying people more than, what they did 10 years ago to kind of offset call it a cost of living adjustment or a COLA, uh, to try to make up for some of these price adjustments, but the COLA doesn't keep up, right? And so you've got a lot of people that are really hurting, and my heart goes out to them. I'm doing pretty well, and it's funny because most of the single people are doing pretty well. It's the families that are hurting, and my heart goes out to them because I was there. I was a single mom with 2 kids, so I was there. I remember the struggle, and I just feel extremely fortunate and very, very thankful that I don't, I can retire. Let's put it that way. Scott says diesel should be $2 a gallon at the most, right? Because they process the gas first. That's the good stuff. And then the diesel is kind of the sludge. It's what's left. And now they have put additives in it to, make it burn cleaner and all this. I know you have all seen semis or diesel pickups or whatever. When they hit the gas, all this black smoke comes out. That's because diesel is like the grunge of fuel. And they make at least they do here, they make a non-highway grade diesel that is probably is $2 a gallon. And you can't burn it. If you get caught burning it on the highway, you'll get ticketed big time. But they use it for construction equipment. So if it's good enough for construction equipment, why is it not good enough for trucks to be running up and down the road? I just don't know. Scott says housing costs for a single person is unaffordable. True statement. That is a true statement. But if you have, let's say you're a single mom, you've got, 3, 4, 5 kids, not only are you having to pay all of that yourself, housing, food, groceries, all the expenses on one income, it's just almost impossible to do. You almost have to have a double income. My daughter just signed a contract on a new house. Yay. I'm so proud of her. But she's going to struggle for a while financially until she gets a couple of raises. And then in 4 or 5 years, she'll be, number one, used to it. And number two, she'll be making more than she is now. And so it'll kind of even out. But yeah, I do agree. Housing costs for a single person housing is just ridiculous. Yeah, it's stupid. Scott says no road tax on off-road diesel. That's true. That's true. It also burns a lot dirtier, I guess. And so the environmentalists, don't want you to run it up and down the highway. But a diesel engine will run on almost anything. I've had 2 of them, and I loved them. Absolutely loved them. Back when I bought mine, the first one was 1998, and diesel was actually cheaper than gas. But you paid for it up front. You paid more for the diesel engine because the fuel was cheaper. It kind of all evened out, but the diesel had a lot more torque. It had, it got incredible mileage compared to a gas engine. And so, I absolutely, I had that truck for, I think, 8 years. And then I had another one for, I don't remember how long, but I love those trucks. I'd love to see mortgage rates drop to just under 6%. So I think she is getting under 6%. I think it's over 3, but it's under 6. I don't know what her exact rate was, because I asked if she could buy down points to get a better interest rate, and she chose instead. They gave her a few options, and she chose 5% off the purchase price of the home to borrow less money up front. So Scott says diesel engines are practically bulletproof. Yes, they are. They are so forgiving. I mean, you can put pretty much, they'll run on just about anything, and they run forever. So I loved my diesel trucks, but they don't make a smaller truck with a diesel engine. And I wanted a smaller truck, so I have a Toyota Tacoma, and it only comes in gas. So Scott said she did really well on interest then. Yeah. She works for a home builder, and so like it's a national company, and so they kind of encourage their employees to buy their houses, I guess. And so yeah, she got a really good deal. Randy says, I used to pay 7% back in the 80s. It was cheaper compared to the 12% for everyone else. Yeah, I mean, houses, that's the thing, is houses go up and down, and it's kind of, for me, it's kind of scary because houses are so high right now. And I know, because I've lived through this so many times, I know they will come down. And I hate to see anybody buy a house when it's inflated, knowing that it's going to come down, that house ain't going to be worth very much. But here's the thing. Yes, housing will come down, and then it'll go right back up again. So kind of the trick is to buy when it's down, but sometimes you can't always wait. So my friend is still running his 2 1999 diesel trucks. So my 98 that I bought is still in everyday use. It's a farm truck. It's, the guy has put a flatbed on it. It's become a hay truck, and he still drives it, and he still loves that truck. So it had I was not very gentle with it, and I kind of bent the drive shaft, and it was a standard. And so when I did that, it cocked it just enough that the throwout bearing in the transmission, it would lasts for about 3 months, then you end up having to change it. So I got really quick at changing those, but I drive too much on the highway, and with it being a hay truck, he can go almost a year before he has to change it. So more power to him. Scott says 1981 loan rates were upwards of 19%. Wow. Yeah. That was crazy. I mean, whenever we complain about things being high today, they have been in the past. I know you guys are all old enough, except Sammy, all old enough to remember when I think it was Carter was the big proponent of set your heat to 68 and your AC to 78, maybe. Was it 78 or 70? I think it was 78, to save energy, you know. And then I think when Carter was president, it was gas prices. And so we have had this stuff go on before, and it's just, we're just there again. It's cyclical, and it'll run its cycle, and then it'll even back out again for a few years, and then whoever's president at that time will get all the credit, and then it'll go crazy again, and that president will get blamed, and so it just depends. I've seen it too many times. It's a total cycle thing. So I don't really worry about it too much. Scott says anything under 6% is a fair loan rate, in my opinion. Yes. I think so too. I think, how can you, like when I bought my truck, it was at 3%, 2.9. So how can they make any money at 2.9%? I think, honestly, I think 5 or 10%, just straight across the board, would be great. But, they don't do that with savings. You're lucky if you get over 1% on your savings. So it kind of, I think they should kind of even out a little bit, but they don't. They never have, so they never will. But guys, I think I'm going to wrap it. I love you guys to pieces. Thank you guys so much for coming in. We do only have one thumbs up. What is up with that, guys? Really? Just hit that little thumbs up button, that little like button. It's free. Doesn't take anything. Just boop. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I don't know, we didn't see Roy tonight, and Peter's probably asleep. I don't know who else we're missing, but I did figure out, okay, and I do this for my own safety. You can put a thing on there to where it's subscribers only, and I have noticed that when I forget to do that, we have a lot more people come in, but we don't always know who they are. And there's a thing on YouTube where you can go and click live, and it'll bring up everybody that's live right then. And so you just don't know who you're going to get in here. So Randy says, good night, everyone. I did the one thumbs up. That means you have to, Sly. Okay. I have not, because I don't get on until after it's uploaded, and then I can go in and change the picture and whatever I need to do. But and then I'll give it a thumbs up. So yeah. Randy says, okay, it's up to 4. Sly, where is your thumbs up? Okay, let me see if I can do this while I'm live. I'm sure I probably can. Possibly. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Let's see. There we go. Yes. Okay, let's turn that down. All right. Where's my thumbs up? All right. There we go. So everybody have a fantastic, this Friday is Good Friday, and then Sunday is Easter. And I hope everybody has a fantastic Easter, and I will see you all next week. Good night. Oh, wait. Jeff says, take care and have a great Easter. Stay safe. And Randy gave me a thumbs up. Love y'all. Good night.